Well, hello again. This is Buck Benny speaking. I am joined by, I was going to say I'm joined by Dot because on John's screen it says Dot. And so I usually read the screen and I assume, is Dot one of your kids?
Yes, that's right.
Okay. So I'm joined by John instead of Dot. I'm joined by Kathy Folisili, and we have Todd Bensel here, who is our wonderful Jack Benny on this presentation and the other ones we presented lately. I just love that we're able to do this. I love that the gang, we're getting slicker and slicker at doing it. It seems like we go faster and faster. And today, in this episode, John was really, this is John's tour de force. He is our Mel Blanc, man of a thousand voices, and covers everybody because we had a couple of our members not here today. And so we had to kind of cover for that. Kathy did a great job. It was probably the most involved Mary script, maybe that I've seen, even of the regular Jack Benny shows. I mean, there was a lot of Mary.
This time period,
yeah, she was like the co-star of this thing along with Jack. And I thought,
and it might be because it's recorded because the show was recorded ahead of time. That might have made her feel a little more comfortable, even though Jack is going to mention that she's suffering from a cold. I'm glad that she was able to do her part.
I'm surprised, actually, they would write her this big of a part. I guess this time, at this point in time, she wasn't dropping out all that much, I would assume. Because if you thought, okay, every time I write a Mary part, she might be dropping out of the show, you would think you would write her a fairly small part that's easy to replace. I mean, if she dropped out of this, you'd have to bring in like a guest or Babe or somebody to take over because it's just such a big part. But yeah, I'm glad Mary was here to do it. Well, at least our Mary was here to do it. Otherwise, we would have just had John do Mary as well, and that would have been fine.
Yeah, well, actually, we could have had my wife do it because she was here doing another voice.
That's true.
Stephanie, so thanks to her. And there's actually a little cameo, a special appearance by one of my kids, my 8-year-old. So yeah, lots of fun.
But it's not by Dot, so no. That's unfortunate.
Actually, if you want to see Dot, I've got a video on YouTube that you should check out. It's hilarious. It's called Baby Mrs. Dad's Beard. And it's when Dot was like 1 and I shaved my beard and she did not recognize me. So it's hilarious.
That's great. We'll have to tune in for that one. Audience, check that out. Anyway, Todd, what were you feeling about, one, how do you like doing the shows with us? And 2, what did you think about this particular episode? Anything stand out?
I really love doing the shows with you guys. It's a really good time. You all do an amazing job. And what's fun is the Jack characters to be able to bounce off Mary and to have that dialogue with her, and she kind of puts him in his place. And I love to be frustrated with Dennis and Frank Nelson. So those are key for me. It's really enjoyable. And I think the folks will enjoy the episode. It's a little different in that we go into the future. Spoiler alert, but we go into the future a little bit. The future actually was 50 years ago. It was 1971. But we all had to kind of alter our voices a little bit to sound older, and that was fun too.
Well, and I think my Phil voice is getting slightly better over time, but I'd say my future Phil voice, I made Phil be older than I think he ever sounded in his life. But I just thought, I could use my old man voice. This is kind of fun. So,
well, I noticed whenever Dennis Day does an old man voice, he does a Titus Moody impression. Yes. So I tried to do my best Titus movie from the Fred Allen show.
Yes, you are correct. And that's what he would do. And that was good pointing that out, John. Yeah. So, yeah, I love this one. These are so much fun to do. I know the audience gets a lot out of them because they can't hear them any other way because these shows are missing. We have missing episodes for the next couple of months. We have one from December that we'll be doing, hopefully, and one from January that we'll be doing. And we might take that January one and use it for the Jack Benny convention that they're going to have virtually again this year. Kathy, can you tell us more about what is it called, the Jack Benny convention, or what is the name of that they call that thing?
I think it's called that. Okay. She posts it on I think a website called Always 39.
Okay.
Or is it Forever 39?
It could be Forever 39.
Something about 39.
It doesn't have a branded name yet. We need to get it up.
But you can probably find it at
I call it Benny Palooza,
Yep.
So
and they can tune in to last year's is still available. I think you can find it on.
It's permanently available, and anybody who's not gone there and has not yet heard the amazing Stuart Kanan interview, the little 10-year-old violinist, speaking of our talented youth, who is still alive and kicking in his 90s. He has marvelous stories to tell, and
that's wonderful. So tune into that and listen to us too, because we do a presentation last year as well. We did I can't remember. Did we do the first Mary episode?
Yes. So it was part of a 1932 episode. So.
That's right. Which is one of the ones available in Kathy's book, right? And so.
Yay. And volume 2 is I've just gotten page proofs for volume 2. So whether we have it in time for Christmas or a New Year's present, there will be a volume 2 coming out.
Oh, that's great.
Yes. So.
And when it comes out, spend the extra money to buy the hardback. I really like the hardback of this last one, if it comes out in hardback again. So just the pages were so nice, and the whole thing is just a really cool. And I think it only costs about $10 more. I think if you're going to spend 29, might as well spend 39 or whatever.
Daryl, you had suggested, and it was a terrific suggestion for improvement, that I write a little synopsis of each episode to put right before the script. And at the moment, when it came back from production, they're all on a separate list on a separate piece of paper. So it's like, I'm hoping I can get them included.
Yes, that would be wonderful. I think that's really cool, because it gives you just a little flavor of what's coming up, and it makes you interested in reading the whole script and everything. So I think that'd be great.
Can you tell me what years it covers? How far does it go?
Oh no, it's just the next 13 weeks. So this is if the first, because Jack was broadcasting twice a week back then. So volume 1 covers from the very first show to September. August. So the first 13 weeks or 26 episodes is in volume 1. Volume 2, so the next 13 weeks, it's when the Canada Dry group really gets their act together. They, with Ethel Chute and George Olson and Mary contributing, they talk about the presidential election coming up. They start to do their first movie parodies of Grand Hotel. It's really fabulous. You can see Jack and Harry Kahn starting to put together things that are going to continue for so many years. But it's going to end when Canada Dry moves to CBS and breaks up that old Gang of Mine for the first time. So it's a rich collection of 25 more scripts. There's one that I forgot to take a picture of. Ooh. And with COVID, I've not been able to go get it. So it'll have to be a special extra on volume 3. So.
Oh yeah. Special bonus episode or something.
A very special episode.
Have you been able to, Kathy, since we're talking about missing scripts, have you been able to track down all the scripts then? All the missing ones for future years, or are you just kind of going?
I just went up to 1936.
Okay.
So I just went for all the ones missing from 32 to 36. So, but there can be future trips out to, I think the best collection of these post-1937 scripts might be out at the University of Wyoming.
Right.
So, but a trip to Laramie is always a pleasant trip.
Go.
So,
well, and you only have to go up until the tobacco companies take over, because then you can get the scripts as PDFs and things.
Yeah. So ever so grateful for the Tobacco Docs settlement that brought all these amazing scripts.
Well, and that's why we get to bring you these shows that we do, right? So, but with that, I guess that's a great place for us to stop and just say, enjoy this episode. A lot more to look forward to. We love doing these, and we'll see you guys next time. Thanks, everybody. And I'll stop recording maybe. And we're going. So whenever you're ready, John.
The Lucky Strike Program, starring Jack Benny, with Mary Livingston, Phil Harris, Rochester, Dennis Day, and yours truly, Don Wilson. Ladies and gentlemen, last Friday night, the entertainment world honored Jack Benny's 20 years in radio with a banquet at the Waldorf Astoria, New York. So now, let's look in on the Super Chief, where we find Jack and the gang speeding back to Hollywood.
I can't understand it. Nothing in Luella Parsons' column about the testimonial dinner they gave me. Oh, Mary, you've got the other Los Angeles papers. Is there anything in Hedda Hopper's column?
Yes, but not about you.
I can't understand it. I always say nice things about her hats. Oh well.
Say, Don, look at all these action pictures on the Notre Dame Michigan State football game.
Yeah, look at that shoestring tackle.
Gee, everybody's talking about that game.
Nothing about me in Sid Skolsky's column, nor Sheila Graham's either.
Oh, Jack, here's something in Harrison Carroll's column.
Where? What? Where is it, Mary? Where? What?
I'll give it to you. Get up off your knees.
Oh, I'm sorry. What does it say?
It says, what radio comedian who is heard on what night for what sponsor is having what trouble with his who and how?
I wonder who that can be.
Sounds like, what's his name?
Maybe I never even thought of him. What girl has a terrible cold and can hardly talk today? Now let's see. Hey, here's something about me in Jimmy Starr's column. At the Macabre last night, Gary Cooper was seen doing the rumba with the shapely Jack Benny. Well, that's the silliest thing I've ever heard. I wasn't even there.
Let's see that.
Here, imagine shapely Jack Benny.
Oh, that's Joan Bennett. Put on your glasses.
Oh, yeah. Gee, I can't get over it. Not one item about my banquet. I don't mind for myself, but they must be sizzling at the Waldorf.
Don't worry, Jack. Somebody will mention it. Anyway, you should feel proud. The Friars really gave you a wonderful banquet.
You said it, Don. I've been to thousands of dinners given to personalities and celebrities, but I don't know. There was something different about this one.
Yeah, it's the first time the guest of honor did the catering.
I did not. Only the French pastry.
What are you laughing at, Mary?
When Georgie Jessel introduced Jack, they had to page him in the kitchen.
Mary, I just stepped in to check on my cream puffs. He would pick that time to introduce me. Anyway, Mary, you had a good time.
Oh, I certainly did, Jack. And so did my sister Babe. With all those celebrities there, she was really in her glory.
Mary, I wanted to talk to you about that. From now on, when Babe goes to one of those big affairs, you'll have to tell her.
Tell her what?
She's there to wrestle, not to mingle with the guests.
Oh, stop.
Oh, Don, what's that you're reading?
Oh, it's a book about the theater. It's called Showbiz, From Vaud to Video by Abel Green and Joe Laurie Jr.
Oh, yes, I read it, and it's wonderful. You know, the author sent me an autographed copy.
Oh, how nice. Jack, would you lend it to me?
I wish you'd asked me sooner. I sold it. Don, hand me the rest of those papers.
Say, Malcolm.
What is it, Jerome?
You see these shoes I'm shining here?
Yeah, who do they belong to?
You know, that elderly gentleman in the lower 8.
Lower 8. Oh, yes, that's Mr. Benny.
Jack Benny? Doggone, I'd never recognize him. He looks younger on television.
Well, those makeup men have a way of taking the wear and tear off you.
Amazing. Well, what about Mr. Benny's hair? In television, it's brown.
It's not only brown, it's there.
Amazing. Well, look who's here.
Good morning, Rochester.
And a good morning to you, gentlemen. Say, those shoes you're shining, don't they belong to my boss?
Yeah, how'd you know?
The left one has a button missing.
Oh, yeah. Well, look here, Malcolm. Mr. Benny left a silver dollar in his shoe for a tip.
That ain't no tip. He wants that shine too.
No kidding.
Tell me, Rochester, is Mr. Benny really cheap?
Oh no, I happen to know that one time a panhandler asked him for a nickel for a cup of coffee and he gave him 50 cents.
When was that?
The day the earth stood still.
Amazing.
Nothing in Erskine Johnson's column either.
Oh, Jack, don't be such a ham. You got a free dinner, so why don't you forget it?
Well, I still think.
Hey, hiya, kids. Hey, look, Mary, how about a game of gin? Do you want to play?
No thanks, Phil. I'm reading.
Say, I'll play with you, Phil.
Oh, no, I don't want to play with you.
Why not?
Whoever you lose to, you're sore and gripe and yell, and then you put your toupee on backwards for luck.
Oh, you're just mad because I won so many games from you yesterday.
How could you lose wearing that Japanese kimono?
What's wrong with me wearing a Japanese kimono?
You had Rochester in one of the sleeves handing you cards.
Oh, stop dreaming things up.
See you later, Madam Butterfly.
Go already.
Say, Jack, why don't you ask Dennis? He might play with you.
Oh, that's right. Where is he?
There he is, way up at the front of the car.
Oh, yes. Hey, Dennis.
Jack, don't yell like that. We're not the only people in this car.
What's the difference? Hey, Dennis, you want to play some gin rummy?
Not with you, Mr. Benny. You never pay off.
Isn't
Isn't that right, Miss Livingston?
Quiet. We're not the only people in this car. I guess I put that kid in his place. Here comes Rochester. Oh, Rochester, how about a game of gin rummy?
Okay, you get the sucker. I'll get the kimono.
I don't mean that. I want to play with you.
No thanks. I'd never gamble.
What? When did you stop gambling?
A couple of weeks ago at Tanforan, I bet on our Fancy. What a horse that was.
When did he come in?
In the cool of the evening.
Oh, well, I'll find somebody on the train to play with me.
Dinner is now being served in the diner. First call for dinner. Dinner is now being served in the diner.
Hey, what do you say, Mary? Shall we have something to eat?
Right now, Jack, we usually wait till the second call.
Nah, let's eat now.
Okay, boost me up to the baggage rack and I'll get the sandwiches.
Never mind the sandwiches. It's our last chance to eat in the diner. Come on, Mary. I'll treat you to a meal. I'll ask Dennis, too. Hey, Dennis.
Yeah?
What do you say to a little grub?
Hiya, Grubby.
I meant, would you like something to eat? Mary and I are going to the diner.
No, thanks. I'm going back to my compartment to go over my song.
Oh, say, I want to hear that. Come on, Mary. What are you going to sing, Dennis?
Well, since it's Armistice Day, and both you and I were in the Navy, I'm going to do a medley of songs honoring the armed forces.
Oh, that's swell. Let's hear it.
Da, 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 da.
Anchors away, my friend.
That was wonderful, Dennis.
Say, Dennis, Jack and I are going to the diner. Would you like to join us?
Well,
Come on, Dennis. Join us.
okay. I now pronounce you man and wife.
Now cut it out. Come on, Mary. Let's go before he starts throwing rice. Sometimes that kid drives me nuts. Oh, Steward.
Well, it's you, Mr. Benny.
Yes, you have a table for two. We want to eat.
Eat?
That's right.
Ooh, then I win.
Win?
The waiters bet you'd hold out all the way to Los Angeles, but I took the long shot on Albuquerque.
Jack, I'm hungry. Let's not just stand here.
Here's a table right here.
Thanks.
Well, are you comfy?
Comfy.
Everything's fine, Stuart.
Good. What do you say to a little grub?
Well, I'd like Mary, watch me get him. Watch this. Ask me that again, Stuart.
Ask you what?
What do you say to a little grub?
Hiya, grubby.
You see, Mary, it fools him every time.
Jack, what are you going to eat?
I don't know. It's hard to decide. That New York cut steak with mushrooms sounds good. Then again, the large filet mignon is tempting.
Let's stop playing and order.
Okay, Stuart, put me down for a hamburger sandwich.
I already did.
Don't be funny. Just take the order.
I've got it.
Oh, and Stuart, how about some French pastry?
Not this trip. We've got all we can use.
What will you have, Mary?
I think I'll have the roast turkey and a glass of milk.
Thank you.
Oh, say, Mary, did I tell you that next Tuesday I'm going to be on Frank Sinatra's television show? Gee, I can hardly wait.
Why?
When I stand up there next to Frankie, I look like Victor Mature. Yes, sir.
Pardon me, is this seat taken?
No, miss. Sit down. Lovely day, isn't it?
It sure is.
Yesterday was a rather nice day, too.
It sure was.
But then, of course, weather's so unpredictable. Tomorrow it might rain.
It sure might.
You know, you never know.
It's a privilege to sit in on this conversation.
Mary, you little vixen, you. Well, here comes the food. Gee, that was a good dinner, wasn't it, Mary?
It sure was.
Mary, miss, I certainly enjoyed talking to you.
Likewise.
Stuart, give me the check, please.
Yes, sir. All three on one?
No, just Miss Livingston and myself.
Wait a minute, mister. What about my check?
Your check? Why, I don't even know you.
Then what did you start a conversation for?
What?
Look, if I wanted weather reports, I could read the paper.
Come on, Mary. Let's get out of here. Mary, wasn't that girl awful?
Well, it's your own fault, Jack. Why do you talk to people you don't even know?
Mary, if I didn't talk to people I don't know, you'd still be at the Maycomb.
Yeah, you and your sweet talk.
Never mind. Gee, I'd like to play cards. There must be somebody on the train with a little sporting blood. Oh, hello there. Say, would you be interested in playing a game of gin rummy?
My mommy never lets me play with strangers.
Well, all right. Just a suggestion. Say, Mary, I think I'll go to bed because we get in pretty early.
Okay, Jack. See you in the morning.
Well, Mary, we're pulling out of Pasadena. We'll be in Los Angeles in half an hour.
Gee, I'll be glad to get home.
Oh, Jack,
Yes, Don.
these three gentlemen got on at Pasadena. They're newspaper reporters. They want to interview with you.
Oh, good. Where are you gentlemen from?
From Anaheim.
Azusa.
Cucamonga.
Oh.
Now, Benny, if you talk fast, we can get this interview in our very next edition.
When is that?
2 weeks from Thursday.
Oh,
Now, Mr. Benny, about this dinner they gave you in New York, what was the significance of it?
well, the Friars gave me this testimonial dinner because this is my 20th year in radio.
Do you intend to continue with radio or retire?
Retire? Are you kidding? I'll never quit radio.
You mean to say that you'll be on the radio 5 or 10 or 15 years from now?
I'll be in radio 20 years from now.
20 years from now? What kind of program will you be doing then?
Sit down, gentlemen, and I'll tell you. When 1971 rolls around, you'll still be hearing
The Lucky Strike Program, 1971, starring Jack Benny, with Mary Livingston, Phil Harris, Rochester, Dennis Day, and yours truly, Don Wilson. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we bring you our master of ceremonies, Jack Benny. Wheel him in, boys.
Hello again. This is Jack Benny talking. How are you feeling, Don?
I'm feeling fine, Jack. Fit as a fiddle. How's your rheumatism? I said, how's your rheumatism?
100%. It's up to my ears now. Oh, hello, Mary.
Hello, Jack.
Your cold fits now. Let's take it again. Hello, Mary. Mary.
Hello, Jack.
What's that?
Read my lips, you old fossil.
I would if I could move the darn things. Say, Mary, you're looking good. Did you have your face lifted again?
Nope, had it lowered this time. Couldn't get my hat on.
I
said I couldn't get my hat on.
Yep, you are putting a lot of fat on. Well, here comes Dennis Day.
Well, hello, everybody. Hello, Mr. Benny.
Dennis, you've been on the show 32 years, and you're still calling me Mr. Benny. You don't have to be so formal. You can call me by my first name.
I'd be glad to. What is it?
What is it? Dennis, how you ever got married and raised a family, I'll never know. How many kids do you have now?
13.
13 kids?
Yep, one for every month of the year.
Dennis, there are only 12 months in the year.
Now he tells me.
Everybody said, wait till he grows up. Maybe you'll get smarter. Oh, well. What are you going to sing tonight, Dennis?
That song that's number 1 on the hit parade.
Oh, what is it?
When you say, I beg your pardon, then I'll come back to you.
Yes, it took a long time, but it finally got there.
Jack, before Dennis sings, I've got the Sportsman Quartet here.
Good. Let's have this commercial.
In this modern day and age, for one thing we are glad, a Lucky's still the favorite smoke, the best you've ever had. So when you plan that trip to Mars, take Lucky's by the case. For good old LSMFT's the favorite any place. Be happy, go lucky, be happy, go lucky strike. Be happy, go lucky strike today.
Someday he's gonna make it.
Jack still has his Maxwell car, but now it's changed, you know. He wired some rockets on the side. Now you should see it go. And plastic planes, they're now the thing. Atomic engines move them, but Lucky Strikes are still the same. You really can't improve them. Be happy, go lucky, be happy, go lucky strike. Be happy, go lucky strike today.
Oh, God, he made it.
Oh, oh well. Lucky Strike means fine tobacco, LSMFT, and Lucky Strikes taste better too. Just try one and you'll see. Be happy, go lucky, be happy, go lucky strike. Be happy, go lucky strike today.
Very good, boys. Very good. And by the way, fellows, I want you to come over and sing at my birthday party next week.
Say, how old are you going to be, Jack?
Well, I guess I'll have to admit it. I finally made it.
Made what?
40. People started to talk, so I thought I'd better.
Hey, Jack, here comes Phil Harris.
Oh, Baldy, eh? He lost his hair, folks, but he still got a curly scalp.
Hey, Jackson, glad to see you up here.
What do you mean you're glad to see me up and around? You just saw me 5 minutes ago.
I know, but at our age, I like to keep checking.
Oh, well, you're looking pretty good, Phil.
Remember what I told you 20 years ago? That stuff preserves you. It preserves you. And say, Jackson.
What?
You're never going to believe it, but it finally happened.
What happened?
This morning, Alice came to me for money.
Well, what do you know?
Say, Jackson.
What is it, Phil?
Glad to see you up and around.
Forget it. And now, folks, for our feature attraction tonight. Excuse me. Hello?
Hello, Mr. Benny. This is Rochester.
Rochester, you're supposed to change your voice.
I did, but you just can't notice.
Well, what did you call for?
I want to tell you, I'll be by in 15 minutes to pick you up in the Maxwell.
Don't bother, Rochester. I'll get home without it.
I wish you'd told me sooner. I already hitched up the horse.
Well, unhitch him.
I can't. He's on his knees and ready to go.
Well, okay, I'll be waiting for you. Goodbye, Rochester.
Goodbye. Oh, say, boss.
What?
It's good to know you're up and around.
Never mind. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Well, it's time for a band number. Go ahead, Phil. Play something.
What do you want me to play?
No, make no difference. I can't hear it anyway. What are you laughing at, Mary?
The clarinet player's got so many wrinkles, he can't find his mouth.
Doggone, if we were able to move him, I'd fire him. Play, Phil.
Ladies and gentlemen, in a few minutes, Jack will appear on the Lucky Strike television program. This is show business.
Oh, Don, why did you mention it? I wanted to surprise everybody.
Don wanted to warn them.
Oh, well, good night, folks.
This is Don Wilson reminding you to listen to Your Hit Parade with Guy Lombardo every Thursday night, presented by Lucky Strike. Consult your newspaper for the time and station. The Jack Benny program is heard over the armed forces through the facilities of the Armed Forces Radio Service. Transcribed. This is CBS Radio Network.
Nice
That
job,
was
everybody.
terrific.
Thank
That was
you.
good. And look at that. Even though we started later than usual, we pulled it off anyways. Well, let me ask. Oh gosh, I had some. Let's see, Laura, what Leibowitz, right?
Leibowitz.
Yeah, I always want to call her Laura Laugh, and I know I shouldn't. So,
Well,
Laura Leibowitz was asking me in the on the Facebook page. We were just kind of having a little chat back and forth, and she said, "What are you guys doing for the next Jack Benny celebration thing in February?" And I was just joking with her. I just said some silly thing, but I was thinking about it afterwards and thinking, since we're doing, I think we might just do the Jekyll and Hyde one that we're going to be doing and present that as our thing, because it'd be a lost Jack Benny show. I would think that'd be kind of cool. Because I was thinking about doing the New Year's sketch one from the next year, but then I thought, well, she's going to ask us next year, what are we doing? So that'd be a perfect one to do for the year after, right? So this year we'll do Dr. Jekyll and Hyde. Next year,
sure. I'm thrilled she wants to have another one of her celebrations. Last year was amazing. So
yeah. I don't know if it's going to be all virtual again. I mean, that's what I would assume, or at least certainly our part will be. Yeah,
because that's how do you bring? I mean, it worked to bring so many different people together.
It did, and I think I would think it worked better than normally does when they do an actual location, because only so many people can actually come. So I think it's great. So as long as they do it virtual, I'm happy with us presenting something every year or whatever. But sure, as long as we're all up to it, does that sound okay to you, Todd? Too? And yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm tell you though, Gerald, I don't have any more scripts. That was my last of what you
Correct.
sent me. Okay.
Yep. So I will send out the script for next month's today, later today. I'll send it out, or Sunday. I'll send it
Okay.
out to you guys, and then you'll have the script for the next one. I might even send just all the scripts, because it's pretty obvious which one we should do each month. It's from that month, so that way anybody can look ahead that wants to. Yeah, and so I'll get all those out to you guys. These just happen to be, I stuck them in a one file, all three of them. All the other scripts I think I've got as separate scripts. So it just, and of course I had a PDF breaker where I was breaking it down, you know, from the big, because they come in 500 page volumes or whatever, and so it's hard to find a script. But now I've lost my PDF breaker. I need to get a new one that I can shuffle things around, but it's all good. So yeah, so I'll send you those scripts out and everything. Thanks, Todd, and everything.
Well, thank you. Great job, everybody. Really.
Yeah.
Thank you. You're fabulous. So everybody is.
And there's not going to be all that much editing other than my parts, but everybody else, you guys were just
so much fun to play.
I was like, someone's going to blow a line. You guys didn't. I think we went through 2 or 3 pages without anybody doing anything wrong. It was great. So nicely done. Nicely done. And John, great tour de force for you. You really are our Mel Blanc. So.
Absolutely.
Thank you. It was lots of fun. This is lots of fun.
I thought our daughter did a great job.
She did.
She made her line really nicely.
Yeah, I couldn't stop and thank her, but she did a great job.
I know. I was going to do the same thing. But I gave her a thumbs up. I hope you maybe saw that. I don't know. But yeah, she did great. And Stephanie, you did great, as you always do.
Yes.
So, please continue to join us if there's a part, and you just never know until we look at each episode. So far, every episode has had something for you to do, which is kind of fun. So we love it. And I love that the two of you could kind of play off of each other as the train porters. That was fun. Yeah. And I think doing it when it's as Nelson's voice, I thought made it, to me, catch a little better. I think, because otherwise you're just going, who are these two people we don't even know? And it's just like the part with Eddie and that part we could have combined all into one person or something, but it was fine. It just, you know, Kathy and my part, but at least Mel was in there, which is nice, and you kind of were doing a Melism with it, so that was good. All right, well, let's can we really quickly do an intro to the episode, or Todd, do you need to go now, or where are you at?
I can stick around. Just give me a quick minute. I'll be right back. Okay. Yeah. All right. Thanks.
Yeah, because if we can.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks, Stephanie.
Bye, Stephanie.
Okay. Thank you so much, Stephanie. Well, quick updates on the Laura Leibowitz Benny front. She is slowly taking her just to tease me, taking her time scanning this found manuscript, but it's going to blow you away. All the detail that Jack and his co-writer Maurice Zolotow put into this manuscript is just
so there's
fabulous.
A lot more there than was in the actual.
There's a lot more.
Wow!
Oh,
great.
Nice.
So, and it's just marvelous details about his love of music. More details about his mother. I mean, I'm just in the first chapter. Things that, you know. So it's
nice.
Potentially, it's just very exciting. And I said, she's teasing me by taking her time.
Yeah.
Like scanning one chapter a week, and it's like 27 chapters. It's like, come on, Laura.
Scan a little faster. No, that's great. And then, do you think she's going to let it be published by Ben and things, or?
Well, it may be so good that we go for a New York publisher.
That's what I was thinking. It wouldn't.
Zolotow's daughter, with the fabulous name of Crescent Dragonwagon. Crescent it's a beautiful, fabulous name, and she's a very prominent, well-published cookbook and young adults author. She gets published, but so we may have enough that she can work her agent links to get a real book out of it. There's just amazing things, and as I said, and I've just seen what I pray is the tip of the iceberg. So
that's so funny, because you would have just thought they would use almost all of it. I just figured it was almost all being used.
Oh yeah, no.
And they needed to pad it. And yet there wasn't enough, and so they had to add.
The fascinating thing, this is apparently not the final version, but it has Joan's handwriting on every page where you see her say, "I'll take this phrase and this sentence, and then I'll read." But then you could see the things she.
Oh, so you can see what she took and included in the Sunday Nights at 7 book. Wow, that is awesome.
Just
Oh.
excitement for the future. How about that?
Yeah, that's great. Oh, I was gonna say, well, we're recording still, so let's just keep going. So we're good. So I'll start us off by doing the throw out thing that I do, and then we'll go in and just chat about it.